In the middle of the Cold War, did you know there was a group of slightly crazy looters? Yeah, these guys, with the help of a local who surely knew all the town gossip, decided to take a little trip to a 13th century church in Romania. They trekked through the Carpathian Mountains, which, to be honest, isn't easy, until, bingo, they found the church. Inside, they stumbled upon a passage that led them straight to the crypts, and what crypts they were. They had these really cool engravings of winged demons that left them speechless. Like good adventurers in search of treasure, they were looking for a cave that, according to stories, was full of gold, and surprise, they discovered they were right above it. And this is where things got spicy. They decided to use explosives to open the way, and boom, they brought the church down, leaving them trapped. Luckily, these guys were tough and decided to find a way out. Now, imagine that time passes some 30 years, and scientists, very curious, decide to excavate the place where the church was and discover, what do you think? An opening to the cave and a river running inside. These guys thought, we need some divers who know what they're doing. Meanwhile, in a distant and tropical place called Yucatan, Mexico, Tyler McAllister and his gang were looking for an entrance to an underwater cave. Although everyone said, this is impossible, Tyler, with his adventurous spirit, found the entrance. Jack came up, gave him a scolding about the importance of being careful when diving, and that same night they received a call from a certain Dr. Nikolai from Romania. It turns out they had been chosen to explore that mysterious cave in the Carpathians. Isn't that crazy? And the best part? Everything was going to be filmed. The next day, the diving team arrived with all their tools and technical stuff, but wait, what's that I see? Oh yeah, our friend Tyler can't take his eyes off Dr. Catherine Jennings. Whoa, looks like he was instantly smitten. Wasting no time, Tyler, trying to be the alpha male, approaches her and introduces himself as the head of the diving team. Catherine. Not to be outdone, he introduces his cameraman, Alex Kim, a guy with some serious camera equipment. While they chat, Catherine, proving she's not just a pretty face, asks a bunch of technical questions about the diving gear they use. Tyler, trying to impress her, tells her how he and his brother Jack have managed to stay underwater for up to 24 hours. 24 hours! Now that takes guts! But wait, the gossip gets better. Just as they're in their conversation, Nikolai introduces Jack to Catherine, and bam! It seems Jack also falls head over heels for the doctor. Oh brother, this smells like a love triangle. At night, the whole group gathers around the fire to map out the plan of action. Jack, with his map in hand, talks about a huge cavern called Titan's Hall, which has a super epic name. And he mentions a sinkhole that leads to another cavern. Brother Jack ends up saying that the expedition will last 12 days. 12 days in a cave is no walk in the park. And to top it off, Top Viukanam, who is an expert in this survival stuff, reminds them that the cave has already claimed a life and tells them with all seriousness to respect it. It's like when your mom tells you to behave, you know? That night, Nikolai decides to tell them a bedtime story. He talked about the church saying that it was built to put a lid on the cave. I mean, can you believe it? It was like a symbol that God was taking care of them, and, as if that weren't enough, he talked about some mosaics with knights fighting demons with wings. Tyler, with that curiosity that characterizes him, asks if the knights won the battle, and Catherine, in spoiler mode, says no. Apparently Europeans like stories with tearjerker endings. How crazy is that? When the sun was barely rising and everyone was ready for action, they reached the Titan's Hall. Oh man, that place was a sight that left everyone speechless. They decided that Bricks would be the first to dive into the depths. But wait a minute, Tyler got a little upset because he wanted to be the protagonist. And you know what Jack did? He reminded him that he had once gotten into trouble for being too impulsive. Ouch, that hurt! Bricks continued on his way. While everyone was waiting for news from him, Catherine, trying to break the ice with Tyler, gives him a little spider in a tube. I hope it's not poisonous, she comments. Tyler, showing his sensitive side, tells her that his dream is to be the first to discover magical places. And Catherine, always such a dreamer, says she would like to find something super rare and name it after herself. Could they already be planning to name their future children? Brawl, who is an expert in sonar, gets a little nervous because he lost contact with Bricks. Imagine Jack, watching the whole thing tensely, says to Tyler something like, "Hey, it's been 10 minutes. We haven't heard from Bricks. You're up, buddy." But, surprise, Bricks is back in the game and manages to communicate that he reached his base camp after a 2.4-mile hike. The guy not only returns, but also passes on the info of the route he took using a really cool mapping device. But here comes the funny part. A giant mole swims by near Bricks, and the rascal blurts out, "Looks like Tyler!" Ha 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 ha! Everyone bursts out laughing, but the joke is cut short. You know why? Bricks sees something strange in the distance, and before he can say anything, boom, the communication goes down again. Top, who's a little scared, says to send someone else to check what's going on. Bricks, cool as a cucumber, tells Tyler that with the map they have, they should go explore that place. And Jack, who's not far behind, gives him the go-ahead. There they go, equipped and everything, to dive. Please, if you're enjoying the video, show it with your valuable like. It's just a second for you and it helps me a lot. And bro, this is next level. They encounter some giant rocks underwater. Alex, with his camera, records everything because he is fascinated, but as if it were a movie, when they approach their base, they encounter a giant sea creature. Already showing bravery, they go forward and leave the others a little behind. And here comes the mystery. They find Bricks' breathing equipment lying around, but suddenly, they hear Bricks from above. The guy shows them something shocking. It turns out they are not the first to discover this secret place. While Jack and the others were rocking their discoveries, Stroke and Tyler were doing their own thing, exploring those depths that hide secrets. But whoa, a really strange noise makes him turn around and he can't resist the temptation to snoop around a nearby cave. And honestly, he would have been better off passing by, because inside he runs into what looks like the remains of a creature kind of like a mole, but in a really creepy way. The atmosphere becomes dense with another hair-raising sound, and before he can say, "Holy moly," something or someone takes him away in a flash. Tyler, hearing the commotion and Stroke's scream, goes into rescue mode. But imagine, Stroke's equipment, in the midst of the confusion, collides, and boom, it triggers a landslide that blocks the cave entrance. Tyler, pushed by the blast, flies to the surface, where he tells everyone what happened. Jack and Top, in an attempt to rescue Stroke, only find traces of his equipment among the rocks. And there's the bad news that Jack gives everyone. They are trapped, and no one will come looking for them until the 12 days of their expedition are over. Bricks is left wondering if something attacked them, while Tyler tries to calm things down, saying that maybe Strauss went crazy, and it was just a hallucination. But for Top, that doesn't matter. What is vital is to find a way out of there. Nikolai suggests waiting to be rescued, but Jack, like a good leader, says that they have to find the way out themselves. Things got really tense when Bricks jumped on Tyler with accusations, saying that he wasn't taking the whole thing seriously. And just when things were about to get ugly, Charles shows up and gives them a lecture on common sense, reminding them that they have just lost a comrade. On the other hand, Jack and Top, getting into all sorts of trouble, find a very narrow tunnel, but what they see inside is unbelievable. Very white scorpions, as if they had just come out of a laundry. But watch out, because while Jack is exploring, a beast surprises him and takes him up. In the midst of the fight, Jack pulls off a slick move and manages to cut off one of the creature's claws, saving himself. Back at the base, Catherine and Nikolai, with wide eyes, examine the claw. When they get a good look at it, they realize that this monster has evolved like a hermit, becoming blind, but with hearing and smell on another level. And the Joker Alex blurts out that they look like demons from those ancient images. But whoa! Since the threat is still there, they all decide to stick together and look for a way out of there. But nothing prepared them for what they found next. A really thick human bone that made it clear that something very macabre is lurking. And here comes Jack, who decides to go it alone. With all the impatience in the world, he brings out his toy, a sonar that could help them find the way faster. And surprise, when they use it, they feel movement in one of the tunnels. So they go for it, with the clear sign that they are not alone in this. The group goes up, and even though they already seem tired, our friend Jack has that spark of a leader and says, "Hey guys, I think I hear water." And guess what? Boom, they find a hidden underground river. Now Alex, who is kind of a YouTuber or something, doesn't stop recording with his camera. What a pain, right? And Jack, well, he loses his temper and splash, throws the camera in the water, and knocks Alex down. Total drama, dude. Everyone with a "what just happened" face. And Jack, well, he apologizes, but you can see that something is wrong with him, something he's not telling us. Later, while everyone is taking a break, our boy Jack hears whispers. Top and Tyler, probably the influencers of the group, are talking about how weird he is. Being a good brother, he approaches him to talk and, well, between the gossip and everything, they talk about the weird vibe with bricks. Jack says something like, "Hey, trust, or we'll be stuck here." The trip gets crazier when they reach a cave with a raging river. Even though more than one person had a "don't even mention it" face, Jack says it's the only way out. Catherine and Tyler jump into the water, and oh my god, a current sweeps Tyler away. And just when we thought it was the end, he passes by a mashed up Nikolai and falls down a waterfall. Catherine, following him, blurts out something like, "Something pulled me," and suddenly, Charlie, with a terrified face, drops the bomb. "There are eel-like creatures in the water." Everyone realizes that they are not only lost, now they are also on the menu. Tyler, in true action movie style, scares those critters away with a flare. And just when you think it can't get any worse, bam, Nikolai falls from a waterfall. Our brave Jack tries to rescue him, but guess what? A monster takes him into the abyss. And yes, we know it was a monster. Jack saw a tattoo on the hand of that. Chon. Super strange, right? Upon returning to the group, Jack's face said it all, and Catherine, well, she blames him for not having avoided those rapid waters. Now, the spark of hope comes with Catherine, who with her super ears detects an echo similar to that of blind bats. Jack, with that adventurous instinct, says he must climb the walls to get out, but the others think the river will give them the way out. Drama in the team, and well, our boy Charlie decides to be the brave one and climb first. But, oh surprise, while climbing, the monster, which turns out to be able to fly, appears. And when we thought Charlie was going to manage, the creature catches him and begins to injure him. But wait, not all is lost. With his flamethrower, Charlie gives the monster what it deserves, but unfortunately also loses his life. After Charlie's death, everyone notices something strange about Jack. His eyes. Well, let's just say he looked like something out of a horror movie, and the worst part, he seems like a superhero. He hears and sees in the dark. Catherine, with her detective mind, believes that something entered Jack's wound, slowly transforming him into one of those creatures, pure terror. From there, well, as in any good story, the team splits up. Some with the hope of finding a way out by the river, and others, led by Jack, who is mutating, decide to go by the surface. On their journey, they face a cliff, and as if there wasn't enough drama, an accident occurs that almost takes Tyler and Top. They barely make it. Top, recovering and half sore, along with the group, discovers another cavern, and what they find inside, oh my god, is a scene of terror, skeletons with armor like something out of a medieval movie. Nikolai, with his stories, turned out to be true. At the end of that cave, a light shines, perhaps the exit, but everyone, with their hearts in their hands, sees how Jack deteriorates. With Jack and Tyler each deciding to do things their own way, well, obviously, everything turned into chaos. Creatures everywhere, adrenaline pumping, and the occasional hero trying to save the day, each of them with their hearts pounding, trying to face those beasts, losing friends and equipment along the way. But boom, they discover that the creatures hate noise, like me when I'm trying to take a nap. But losing the rebreathers? What a low blow. Those are essential in a world full of toxic gas. Jack, that character who has taken us through so many emotions, decides to make the ultimate sacrifice, leaving us all with a hole in our chests. Will they make it out? It seems so. But wait, not everything is happiness at this party. Just when you think it's all over, Catherine, that brave woman, shows signs of being infected. Oh my, so it was all in vain. Now it seems that those things can reach the surface, and who knows, maybe they are already among us. So, bro, if you hear a strange noise, run and don't look back.